Hello everybody. So the purpose of this video is just sort of do something different, right? Because everybody has made videos on, hey, this is where the division is messing up. This is what you need to do, Massive, to fix your game. This is what you need to do, Ubisoft, to fix your game. And I'm not going to be offering any of that. This is going to be totally different. I just want to explain the problems and then come up with actual, you could say, workable solutions, right? But what's going to make this video a little unique is that I understand this industry. I've worked in this industry, so I know how bad these guys' backs are up against the wall. And when I say these guys, I mean Massive at this point. So in the background, you're just gonna see my season pass holder cachet and just like random filler, because I gotta put something on there. So don't be surprised if the video you seeing just kind of loops, right? So first things first, right? Gameplay problems. All right, so people are still being stuck to things in the environment. People can still apparently go through walls, and this is a huge problem. Being able to go through walls. Look what happened after the first incursion. Like, everybody was geared the hell up. There was no going to the dark zone if you were playing legit, and I'm talking like console players, man, because the PC players, they're in a totally different boat. Like, their problems are so much more pronounced than ours. Aim bots run rapid in the dark zone. People are shooting through objects, through walls. People are like physically walking through walls just to escape death, when somebody one-ups them in the dark zone. So with that being said, let's look at normal gameplay problems, right? An NPC shows up, one of the bad guys show up, and you're like unloading like a clip and a half, 2 magazines of ammo sometimes into this dude's face, right? Now, this is cool if they're like an alien or a robot or something, but this is a human being wearing a bandana with like a baseball cap, rushing you with like a bat or a shotgun or something. You know what I'm saying? Like why is this guy such a sponge? Why is he taking so much damage? And this is a problem now, because if you make every bullet do more damage as a fix, right? Like if Massive says, okay, we're gonna fix it this way, we're going to make it to where each bullet does more damage. So now you only gotta unload like 5 or 6 shots or 4 shots into this dude's face, and boom, he drops. This is a problem now, because how is this gonna translate into the dark zone? Because now the game is unbalanced all over again. The agents will be incredibly overpowered. The guns will be terribly overpowered, just by making the NPCs take a lot more damage. But what if we do it the other way around, right? Think about this. If that's not gonna work, then logic would dictate that instead of allowing the NPCs to take more damage, so instead of powerful bullets, weaker NPCs, let's just make stronger agents. That's not gonna work either, right? Like, I don't even need to explain why that's not gonna work. You're probably already thinking, okay, yeah, we're gonna blast through all these missions and incursions and this and that, the underground, with no problems whatsoever. This whole thing needs an overhaul badly, right? And it seems like what happens in PvE, how the game is balanced in PvE, will need to take a different balance from the dark zone when it's player versus player. So this is an issue. This is an issue because the dark zone is not PvE. The dark zone is not PvP. It's sort of like I guess you could say it's PvPvE, right? So how's that going to work there? All right. So Massive announced a public test server. This is going to allow you to just sort of jump in, check out new changes that are going to be making to the game before they go officially live. And I like the fact that console players won't have access to this, that it'll just be the PC players, because the PC players are usually the more critical players. Like, I don't want to start a war or anything. I hope PC players aren't like, hey, Sheik, what are you trying to say? Or I don't want the Xbox or the PlayStation guys to go, Sheik, what are you trying to say? What do you mean by this? I'm just going to say this, right? I think giving PC players public test server access only to them, I think it's a much better idea. Because we as a community of agents are toxic. We are our own enemies, right? If I'm a huge fan of Reclaimer, I'm going to get whooped on by, let's say, Firecrest, right? Just an example over and over again. Oh, Firecrest is OP, that needs to be nerfed, blah, 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 blah. The Firecrest guys. Oh, Tactician's Authority is OP, that needs to be nerfed, blah, 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 so forth and so on. So with that being said, I like that it's only the PC players. I mean, sure, their side of things is toxic too, but at the very least, the fragmentation there won't go three ways. You know, like what happens on PC is going to end up being different than, I think the PC player community in general is just a little different than the console players. And I think it's because it's just the initial cost of play there. You know, you just can't get like a $300 or $400 computer and just load up the Division, right? Like, it just kind of is what it is. Their initial investment to enjoy a game like Division on console-like graphics is a little higher, so I would expect them to be, at least a vast majority of them, to be able to be mature enough to, you know, okay, you know, these guys could afford these rigs or these systems. They should be able to sort of be the voice for the community, right? Considering they also have like the worst like side of things too, because the cheating on PC is a lot more rampant. But do I think the public test server is a good idea? Yeah, I think it is, but it's also a bad idea too. Like, I think as a developer, if you come out with something like a public test server, it's as if you're admitting, okay, I lost total control. I have no idea what I'm doing. My game is tanking. At this point, the only thing that's going to save it is if I allow the community to believe that they have some kind of say-so. Or if I do agree that the community needs to have a very obvious say-so in things, you know? So I don't think the public test server is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing either. I guess you could say I'm kind of moot there, but I am glad only the PC gamers have access to that. There needs to be, there's a rift somewhere, and it's very obvious between Massive and Ubisoft, right? There needs to be more continuity between them. You know, one's a publisher, one's a developer, right? Massive keeps coming up on Twitch like every week, apologizing for this, apologizing for that, and we're gonna fix this with that, and we're gonna fix that with this. And no fixes are coming. And the reason behind this is because apparently there's another department, or maybe it's just another like skunk works altogether, that's doing like the maintenance for the game. So what happens is, you know, Massive implements these fixes, sends it to them while they're working on updates and stuff, and then when that goes live, that's when Massive's fixes go live. Everything Massive has been apologizing and stating they're going to be fixing with this, that, and that, and this. Like, they keep owning up to the mistakes, and I appreciate that. I really do. Like, it takes a man to just look you in the eye and go, hey, I messed up, and this is how I'm going to fix that. But the fragmentation is just incredibly obvious, and it is absolutely unacceptable that fixes can't be fixed in a much timely manner. Remember the backpack bug? Like, when the Division first came out, if you crafted a backpack, for some reason you could no longer access the game. That bug took, what, 3 or 4 weeks to fix or something? That is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. A whole month to fix something that wasn't even allowing people to play your game? That's really fucking bad, okay? Like, there's no way of spinning that shit. That's when I noticed that there was some type of fragmentation. Something weird was going on. And it wasn't until the 3rd, 4th, or 5th week in a row of Massive apologizing about this and that and the other, that finally it kind of clicked. Oh crap, there must be another department that's handling like the main coding for the game. You know, like, at this point, this game, I like the game. I don't hate the game. I don't love the game either, but this game had all the potential in the world, right? Like, this thing was able to build so much hype. The Division was able to build so much hype. And it was able to do what Halo 5 couldn't do, what Titanfall couldn't do. This game could have been the Destiny killer. And I hate saying that because I love Destiny, right? This game could have been the Destiny killer. Why didn't it become a Destiny killer? Because they couldn't do what Bungie's been doing lately, you know? Their game is like, all these problems should have been fixed so much early on, but it wasn't. And then that first round of bans, when people were actively cheating, look, dude, like, I hate cheaters. Like, straight up, I hate cheaters. But if they're able to throw some kind of mobile cover at some 40-degree angle against, like, the environment's wall and then cross to another, dude, that's your fault. don't ban them. That's your fault. I was not cool with that at all. I personally never cheated, but I know that after that first incursion, there was no going into that dark zone. You were just not going to be prepared unless you were cheating yourself. And that just was what it was. And since then, I couldn't enjoy the dark zone. Now, that little backpack crafting bug problem, by the time those guys got access back into the game, people were already PvE level 30, dark zone level 40, and the vast, well, let me say a good chunk of them were cheating already, so they were geared the hell up, and by then people already had a great amount of gear even though they weren't cheating. How could these people enjoy this game now? It was just so terribly unbalanced for them. So what's the fix, right? Massive is really good at standing in front of a camera, jumping on Twitch and saying sorry, and it takes balls to do that, like I mentioned. But Massive at this point needs to look at Ubisoft and go, look, this is our baby. We want to fix it our way. Let us fix it our way. And it's going to be up to Ubisoft, because if not, I really just don't see a Division 2 happening. You know, there's no way. Like, this community is already, I mean, it was so thick in the beginning, but now it's thin. Like, a lot of YouTubers aren't even covering it, man. Like, you know, you've got Breezy Peasy, who's probably one of my favorite Division YouTubers. You know, you've got Eric's, you got a bunch of people, but it's not as much as before. And this game had everything Halo and the original Titanfall did not have. You know, your agent was a personal avatar, a representation of you. You can actually see your character getting stronger and stronger, just how you see in Destiny. This game could have been Destiny. It could have beaten Destiny. Destiny is the standard at this point when it comes to this type of FPS, RPG-ish type genre that Division kind of dabbled in. And look where it's at now. So those are all the problems. Unlike other YouTubers, I'm not going to be like, hey, you need to fix this. This needs to fix. No. It does not work that way. Okay? There's two ways of fixing this. Either Massive looks Ubisoft in the eye and go, look, we want to start doing the main coding ourselves. Let us hire. You know, we can take this game to another level, because it's still not too late. Or they just scrap the fucking game. Just release whatever the hell they want to release, and just, you know, just so they can go ahead and do good with the season pass holders. You know, just let all those updates and all those expansions out and just be done with the game. Nuke it and forget about a Division 2. The third, because I just thought of a third way they could fix this, is if, okay, so number one, they talk to Big Daddy Ubisoft and go, look, we want to fix this ourselves. We want more employees. We want to go on a hiring spree, all right? We don't want to offset our work overseas for, I guess, a cheaper price. Let us fix this ourselves. Bungie was able to do this. We can do it too. Or number two, which just to reiterate again, number two was just release all the expansions and forget about the Division 2. Or number three, continue to go on this path. Release whatever the hell you're supposed to release. Fix what you want to fix. You know, just do it as you were doing it before, as you're doing it now. And then release a Division 2 and make sure everything in the Division 2 is done differently, because the Division 2's release is going to be completely uphill. Don't even consider that AAA, because subscribers, players, your base is just going to be gone. It's shrinking every day, little by little. I don't recommend doing 3. I hope to God they don't do 2, because I really want to see what this game was capable of when there's a development team that has actual stake in this game, that actually wants to give a shit about this game. You know, like I'm tired of seeing, oh, I'm really sorry about this. Yeah, this is a problem, and we gotta balance that. Like, that's it, dude. Like, okay, you've been doing this. I mean, if we were to string all those Twitch videos together, I think it's been like, what, 20-something hours of apologizing now? Like, let's stop that for a while, and let's get to fixing the damn game. Okay, so as of now, am I still playing the game? Yeah, but as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I've been playing Destiny again, lost a lot of muscle memory. There's even a part there where I'm like staring at cover, even though the cover has like a big X on it, so I can, you know, prompting me to push the X button so I can take cover, and I'm actually like trying to crouch behind it instead. So yeah, I'm enjoying the game still, but it could be so much more. With that being said, guys, let's hit up the comment section. Let's like the video. Let's subscribe. You know, let's do something, right? I want to grow my channel. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I know this channel can be something else entirely as long as I have the right audience, right? I want to reach the right audience. Help me reach that. And I would really appreciate it. So as always, guys, stay frosty, take care of yourselves. And if you want to have a conversation about this in the comment section, man, let's do it. Take care, y'all.